Good morning. I am Todd Smith, and I have the great pleasure of declaring the official start of this graduation ceremony. To begin this memorable celebration, please stand for the presentations of colors by the Fort Pierce Central High School Army JROTC and the Pledge of Allegiance and National Anthem, which will be sung by the Lincoln Park Academy Vocal Ensemble. Please remain standing until the color guard has retired from the room. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible.
Color guard, forward, march.
You may be seated, and I stand corrected. That's a Fort Pierce Westwood Academy JROTC. At this time, I'd like to welcome Mrs. Susan Seal, the proud principal of Performance-Based Preparatory Academy.
It is my privilege to welcome you to this graduation ceremony. The graduation ceremony is one of the most memorable events in anyone's life. This celebration comes at the end of a long journey of academic and social preparations. These past 13 years have involved some of the most memorable and influential moments of your lives. Individually, your experiences are unique, but together, you share a common bond as members of the St. Lucie Public Schools graduating class of 2020. I'm filled with excitement and anticipation as the next stage in your life is about to begin. Congratulations to all of you for qualifying to attend today's graduation ceremony. Congratulations to all the parents who are present here to witness this great moment in the lives of your sons and daughters. Congratulations to the friends and relatives for being here to make this event memorable. This achievement would not be possible without each of you. And to that end, this graduation ceremony commemorates your joint achievement. On behalf of our school board, Superintendent Gent, and the administration, faculty, and staffs of our schools, congratulations to all of our graduates. We welcome each of you to this ceremony, and we are excited that you would share this occasion with us. Please welcome at this time the proud principal of Port St. Lucie High School, Ms. Brooke Wigington.
It is my privilege to introduce our special guests. Please stand to be recognized. Mrs. Debbie Hawley, Chairman of the Board and representing District 1. Mrs. Catherine Hensley, Vice Chair, representing District 4. Mr. Troy Ingersoll, representing District 5. Dr. Donna Mills, representing District 3. Mrs. Carol Hilson, representing District 2. Mr. E. Wayne Gent, Superintendent. Dr. Helen Wild, Chief Academic Officer. Dr. Kevin G. Perry, Assistant to the Superintendent. Mrs. Sunny Booker, Director of Alternative Education. Mr. Todd Smith, Principal, Treasure Coast High School. Mrs. Susan Seal, Principal, Performance-Based Preparatory Academy. Ms. Andrea Popwell, Principal, St. Lucie West Centennial High School. Mr. Joseph Lazeau, Principal, Fort Pierce Westwood. And Mrs. Paige Latham, District Director, Acceleration Academies. Please welcome our Assistant to the Superintendent, Dr. Kevin G. Perry.
Good morning. It is my pleasure to introduce our guest speaker for this occasion, Dr. Nakia Nikki Robinson. She is a proud graduate of St. Lucie Public Schools, graduating as a part of the first graduating class from Centennial High School. After graduating from Centennial, she went on to earn a BA degree in Management and Marketing from Florida Atlantic University, an MBA from Ashford University, and a PhD in Business Administration with a specialization in Management and Information Systems from North Central University. Dr. Robinson is certified by the District Board of Trustees of IRSC to teach marketing and computer science, and she holds the Florida Department of Education certification for business administration. In her current role, she is the Associate Professor of Computer Information Technology in the Advanced Technology Division, an adjunct professor in the School of Business, and she is an advisor for Phi Beta Lambda Business Honor Society. Please welcome our guest speaker, St. Lucie's own Dr. Nakia Robinson.
Good morning. Let me start by saying you all look awesome, and I'm extremely proud of your accomplishment. Let's give yourselves a round of applause. I'm humbled and thankful to be afforded the opportunity to speak to you today. And as I sat to figure out what I wanted to say to you today, I came up with a theme, which is everyone has a story. And to add to my story today, which wasn't part of my speech, just to give you a little understanding of everyone has a story, when I arrived today, I decided I'm not going to bring my purse because I have to speak. It's too much. I'm sure women can relate. So I put the purse, covered it up in the car, and as soon as I closed the door, I realized, wait, my speech is in my purse. So I looked for my keys. My keys are in my purse. So my keys and my speech for today were locked in the car. Everyone has a story. So to begin, I'm going to share some of my story with you. My father is a retired disabled vet who has been an on and off drug addict since my toddler years. So my mom became a single parent. When my grandparents retired and decided to move from New York to Florida, my mother ended up sending me to live with them during my first grade year. I attended Morningside Elementary. Anyone here attend Morningside? No? I started as an average student, then my grades started slipping to less than average, and I started getting into trouble. For instance, I always got into trouble for talking too much. So my grandmother used to write, "Shut up," on my hand before I went to school. You probably can't relate to that because I'm sure none of you talked too much in school. Later, I had a fourth grade teacher that changed the trajectory of my life. Mrs. Buchanan, not only did she see the potential in me, she was able to get me to believe that I was smart. No matter how I did on assignments, she pushed me to stick to it, to work a little harder, and reminded me that it was in me to do it if I kept at it. My grades started to improve, and I was soon selected to go to gifted classes. For 6th grade, I was assigned to none other than Lincoln Park Academy. I'll be honest, at first I disliked it. I disliked the dress code, I disliked the strictness, I found myself in detention and in school suspensions quite a few times. Can any of you relate to any of that? After 10th grade, I transferred to a school that was just built and being opened, St. Lucie West Centennial High School, where I graduated from. So I too am a proud product of St. Lucie County Public Schools. From a former dual enrollment student, I ended up becoming a college professor of our own local Indian River State College, recently recognized by Aspen as #1 community college in the nation. So what did I learn from my story? I came to appreciate how Mrs. Buchanan made me believe in myself and how she taught me to push through obstacles rather than letting them stop me. With maturity, I came to appreciate the skills instilled in me from Lincoln Park Academy. This allowed me to stand out in many instances, to be the best and most neatly dressed in many settings, and by having self-control and determination that set me apart from others in interviews and in places of employment. After getting married and while raising our daughter and working to get a bachelor's degree, unexpectedly, I ended up having to temporarily raise my father's 4 elementary middle school age children. My past experiences allowed me to press on and persevere nonetheless. After being accepted into law school, I was offered a teaching position at Centennial High School. I chose the teaching path instead of law school, which led me toward becoming a college professor. So I often tell my college students, while we choose a path to take, which allows us to stay focused and continue making progress, along the way, your path will find you. I learned that it's not being smart that allows us to gain accomplishments. It's having the will and power and determination to endure and persevere until we reach our desired accomplishments. This is what makes you smart. So what can you learn from my story? It's one thing for people to see the potential in you, but it's completely different to experience when they can get you to believe in your own potential. That one person can completely change the direction of your life story. Perhaps for you, it's a parent, a coach, a teacher, or maybe even a friend. If you don't have a person like that in your life, find one and learn how to become one for someone else. Stay surrounded by positive people and stay positive no matter what you're confronted with. Turn no's and closed doors into a source of motivation to achieve greatness. When things get down, remind yourself, everyone has a story. Pick yourself up and keep moving forward. This allowed me, the child of a drug addict raised by grandparents who was a troubled and average student, to rise to the occasion and ultimately become a college professor with a PhD. Surrounding yourself with positive and supportive people can motivate you to accomplishments beyond what you could ever dream for yourself. When my students come to me with excuses for why they didn't complete their work, which I'm sure none of you have ever done, I tell them, give me a minute, I step back, and I take out my violin, because everyone has a story. What I'm saying here is, don't make excuses, own and acknowledge your mistakes, and accept and move on from obstacles or self-perceived failures, because these only contribute to your success. As the author Leonie H. Madison says, the truth of what you've been through is only part of your story. Amen. Keep writing the chapters your older self will enjoy reading. In my closing, I leave you with some advice. Regardless of the obstacles placed in your story, with hard work and determination, you have the power to continue your story in whatever direction you desire. If you're ready for college, go for it. If not, pick up a trade. But no matter what, continue to improve yourself and your earning potential. For those that chose the trade route, give college a try again later. Whenever you feel down, it's probably time to start improving yourself again. Bad stories are short-lived. People tend to forget those with time. And good stories, they become legacies that often last in some way forever. What legacy will your story illustrate to others about you? No matter what's placed in your path throughout your story, what you do with it from here on out is up to you. Not your parents, not your friends, not even your teachers, but you. Remember, everyone has a story. Be different, leave legacies, be good citizens, make the world a better place. Go create your own great story. Thank you, and God bless.
Thank you very much for your encouraging words. I'd like to present you with a certificate of appreciation for sharing your valuable knowledge as guest speaker at St. Lucie Public Schools' 2020 High School Winter Graduation Ceremony. Thank you very much. Mr. Gent, please join me at the podium. Distinguished members of the school board and Superintendent Gent, as principal of St. Lucie West Centennial High School and representative of all high school principals, I present to you the winter graduating class of 2020. I certify that they have met the graduation requirements of the school board of St. Lucie County and the state of Florida.
Principals, you may award their diplomas at this time.
Thank you, Mr. Gent. Dr. Perry, please prepare to call the roll. Special guests, please join the principals of each of our high schools to congratulate our students. Will the candidates on the first row please rise and proceed to the stage?
From Fort Pierce Westwood Academy, Vandrell Jacobs. Port St. Lucie High School, Joseph Torres. St. Lucie West Centennial High School, Cameron Kagas. Vanessa Paradise. Emilio James Roberts. Stephanie Salas. From Treasure Coast High School, Anaya Dutez. Dejour Harper. Riaz Kawaja. Second row. Candidates on the second row, please. From Acceleration Academy, Carolina Arelis. Brian Arelis. Darlins Jean-Baptiste. Prince Hubert Joseph. Dalton Kelly. Ralph Million. Samuel Salgado. Tanasia Gloria Works. Cheyenne Jackson. Hakeem Metellus. Candidates on the third row. From Performance-Based Preparatory Academy, Samaya Chagani. Sophia Donatelli. Tanija Fleetwood Jacobs. Marquise Frizzell. Jasmine Guerrero. Onisha Jackson. Justin Nieves. Ali Torres. And Jalen Williams.
Mr. Gent, would you please join me again at the podium? Will the graduates please rise? Mr. Gent, as representative of high schools principals, I present the graduating class of 2020, graduates of St. Lucie Public Schools. They await your confirmation.
Thank you, Mr. Lazo. Graduates, congratulations. At this time, you may turn your tassels. Great job.
This morning has been a wonderful experience for our graduates and their families. This graduation ceremony tells you that you are ready and prepared to achieve your life's purpose. As you move to the next phase of your life, I remind you to make sure that you make a difference, as did the generations before you. Be ready to make all the impossible possible. Let us give our combined best wishes to these young men and women for their journey ahead. As we begin our recessional, I ask the audience to remain seated until the last graduate exits the auditorium. Mr. Gent and distinguished guests on stage, please proceed with the recessional.